Hello, it's me, DjDoubleT, here with a stream that I've been meaning to do for today, but my schedules for Fridays are a little bit silly. Anyways, we're back to finish up the series I Love You, Colonel Sanders, a finger-licking good dating simulator. And I think this should be the finale, but we'll have to see. Oh. Oh yeah. I actually didn't know they broke it up into these like mini chapters. Anyways, we're here. Chicken and biscuits. All we got are chicken and biscuits. You wake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today's a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about. In some jurisdiction, isn't even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? How will they know? How will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast, and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast I just whipped up. It's meticulous. Very buttery. You taste Colonel Sanders' food, and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence, such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cookery? Like a flattery to get you nowhere, but let's do it. I think we make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking to you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and get home. There's still one more day of school. After all, the University Cooking School Academy for Learning awaits for no... UC Sal for learning waits for no one. You get home to find something very surprising. Your best friend is there waiting for you. Where have you been? Because I had one heck of a night. I've been desperate to talk to you about it, but I couldn't find you. I got worried that something had happened to you. It's okay. I was just... But now that it turns out you're fine, I can finally get you up to speed on the saga of Miriam. Sure, but you will not believe what happened to me after school yesterday. I went on a date. I think I can believe that. Since I'd been partnered up with Pop, he asked me to go out with him. Of course I told him, you better harness those wild horses, young man. I'm not that kind of girl. But he was just interested in spending some one-on-one time together and getting to know me, so I said, yeah, sure, I get to know the little guy. Long story short, he took me to his favorite shush house. But things quickly spiraled out of control. She just say shush house as if that's a thing people just say? What is that even referring to? And now, I'm not really sure where we stand. You don't give Miriam time to tell her whole story, but however, bottling up the details of your own night is just too much to bear. And I went on a date too. Back to Colonel Sanders' house, where I spent the night with him. You what? Nothing happened, but the emotional connection was wowzers. It tells you to move on from this whole Colonel Sanders obsession and focus on school. If being obsessed with Colonel Sanders is wrong, you don't want to be right. After a short argument, you both agree to go your separate ways. When you arrive at school, you encounter your rivals in the quad. You can tell from a distance that they're picking on Pop, though he himself might not quite grasp the fact. Because, he's Pop.
What's a swirly? It sounds delicious.
Oh, it's great. I'll order you up one right away.
I'll have my swirly with sprinkles, please. Sprinkles is a dog and a treat.
You can't... Sorry, let me get the second for the voice. You can't get your swirly dip too. Why don't you pick on someone your own size? Because I'm literally the biggest person at the school. There's that horse that Colonel Sanders rides to school, but who would dare pick on such a gentle and beautiful creature? You've got some nerve, DjDoubleT, suggesting I pick on a defenseless horse. No, now you're twisting my words, and I won't have it. You clench your fist, but the injury from yesterday's mixer accident makes you wince with pain. Doesn't look like you can go on cooking like that. Maybe I might as well just give up. I'll never give up. Ever. Colonel Sanders arrives just as it appears things are close to boiling over. A naturally intuitive person. He senses that something has been going on. Is everyone excited for the final day of school? DjDoubleT, how's that hand feeling? I'm sure he'll be back in fighting form by this afternoon. Aren't you concerned about my hands, Colonel? Yesterday, I almost broke a nail winning so hard. Technically, I don't believe a winner was decided, but your presentation was quite impressive. What is he doing complimenting her? But what about the flavor of my delicate, warm, and gooey chocolate sauce? It was clear that you're passionate about how your food is received. That's a lot of words to say. It was bland. Excuse me, DjDoubleT. I am more than capable enough for speaking for myself. But currently, I cannot speak for myself. What are words? What is reading? Maybe you could tell me more of your thoughts as we walk into class, Colonel. I'm always interested in discussing the fine art of fine foods. See you inside, DjDoubleT. What about Colonel Sanders' inability to see Ashley? For who you know she really is, you walk across the quad to get some distance. An attempt to distract yourself from how slighted you feel by that interaction with Ashley. You take out the spell book you recovered yesterday and start flipping through the pages. Whoa. Whoa, that's that book. It looks like bad news. It's just something I found lying around. It would appear to be some sort of grimoire, but I don't really believe in that magic stuff. A grimoire? Like a book of spells? I don't know. Who would spend so much time decorating a magic book if it weren't really powerful? I can think of one surefire way to find out. You open to a page covered with arcane warnings, cast only in case of extreme emergency. It says around the edges of the page. I could use a spell here that says it will erase anyone I choose from all of my memories. If I scare about Colonel Sanders, it would probably help me focus better on the upcoming final exam. That is way drastic. Couldn't you do something else, like anything else? Not like rooted in dark magic? Maybe tie a string around your finger? Okay, fine. It is drastic. But desperate times call for desperate measures. You've got a memory erasing spell sitting right in front of you, and a pretty good excuse to try it out. Okay, we're trying to go for an era of not getting game overs, so at least for this half, I don't want to get a game over. Let's not do it after all. Power of friendship and wise advice. You take your friend's advice and put the book away. It's almost time for class. Sprinkles is already in the room, waiting for the students to arrive. He clears his voice to make a quick announcement. I want you to know, I feel something of a dog moment coming on, but I assure you, it's nothing to be afraid of. His cute little nose crunches up and he begins to breathe quickly. He must be hungry. Reach out for some old homework to give him as a snack. Dogs can be unpredictable, especially Sprinkles. Wait to see what happens. Sprinkles stops in his tracks. He focuses in on the window. The room is deadly silent. When you follow his gaze, you see a tiny orange squirrel perched on the cherry tree outside. Sprinkles turns feral and runs to the window of the classroom. He begins barking uncontrollably at the squirrel outside. Terrence! I told you, never to come back here. Terrence, I will destroy you! Terrence! Sprinkles is barking ferociously, drool flying off of his face. The squirrel looks over, but he doesn't say anything back. You wonder, is that even a talking squirrel? Who named him Terrence? You better not show your chubby cheeks around here ever again. After Sprinkles is satisfied with that his presence has been felt by not only Terrence, but any other squirrel in hearing distance, he returns to his professorial tone. I apologize for the outburst. This actually brings up an important point. Thank you, DjDoubleT, for reminding me to dole out this indispensable bit of wisdom. You see, before he can go any further, Miriam's love drama spills over into the class. Sprinkles is interrupted by sad whimpering coming from the back of the room. I told you to save it for after class.
But I miss you.
But we went on one date, Pop. And how can you miss me when I'm right here? Pop's voice quivers as he pleads his case to Miriam.
Every time I blink, you go away again.
That's a really cute thing to say. Miriam, what happened between you and Pop?
I got her in trouble and now she's mad at me.
I didn't just get in trouble. I got yelled at by Pop's mother, who blames me for getting him banned from every museum we set foot in. Oh, so that's what you meant by shush house. Pop, we went on one date. We're over.
And it meant so much to me that I made this for you.
Too hurt to go on arguing, Pop leaves his creation behind and runs out of the room. Something like a loud public breakup to cast a pall over the final day of school. Well, that was unfortunate. But we mustn't be distracted from what lies ahead. The final competition showdown. Challenge exam. I'm still working on the title, but I think you get it. Test time approaches. See you all in the arena. But before you could think about your upcoming competition, there's a very beautiful soul nearby in need of a pep talk. Hey, Miriam, are you okay? Okay? I'm so mad. I could smash a tiny mug, spilling several droplets of hot cocoa all over the floor. How could he embarrass me How could he embarrass me in class like that in front of everyone? Tiny Coco is a delicate treasure, so you know that this breakup is no joke, even if the source of her frustration is such a silly boy. I know that you know this, but I'm gonna say it out loud. You don't need anyone. Me and you, we're gonna crush this final. We're gonna cruise through this final test and hit that carpool lane to Success City. Miriam brightens up, imagining the wind rushing through her short bangs, but she hesitates to embrace the feeling all the way. You're not going to saddle up on Colonel Sanders' stallion and ride off into the sunset without me? Of course not. Well, maybe, sort of, but I'm sure there's a pony out there with your name on it and a big ranch enough for both of us, and whoever else you want to bring along. If it's not Pop or Clank or anyone else you meet today, tomorrow, or this whole year, so what? You're a special person who shouldn't settle for the first someone to show a little interest anyhow. Miriam gives you a big hug and wipes the tears from her cheeks. I should really review my menu for today. I'm going to make a very special soup. And I bet that Professor Dog is gonna love it up. While you were pep talking Miriam, you completely missed lunch, but that's okay because you had a better idea of how to spend the time before your exam. You decided to head to the arena early to practice a dish. This is it. Location of your final challenge. A test of will, a test of courage, a test of talent, and a chance to beat the pants off of Van, the supposed man-man, and his eviler counterpart, Ashley. As planned, you begin to run through a quick test of a recipe you've been working on, DjDoubleT's famous chicken pot pie. And chicken pot pie is delicious. After practicing for months, making this dish comes second nature to you, and you're able to quickly get a fresh pot pie in the oven. But as soon as you do, your cram session is interrupted by none other than the Colonel Sanders, and also an array of cherry blossoms. DjDoubleT, what are you doing here? There's still time before the final exam. Oh, just taking it all in. I'm big into visualizing success. I'm looking at my station and picturing victory. Pot pie has begun to bake, and the smell is slowly filling the space around you. Visualizing, huh? That's too bad. I was hoping you were here cooking something delicious. You'd usually happily share your food with anyone who's hungry, but the last time you let Colonel Sanders get in your head, it cost you a cook-off. You decide that it's time to put your cooking above your romantic desires, but that decision gets hard to stick to when the oven timer goes off right behind you. Ignore it like there was no sound at all. If I ignore it, won't it burn? And fess up? We'll just talk about it. Okay, you got me. I'm doing a little bit more than visualizing. I know. My nose can smell a pot pie from 400 yards. That's an oddly specific distance, but you'd expect nothing less from such an oddly specific man. You knew it was a pot pie just from the smell? Not just a pot pie, but a chicken pot pie with an all butter crust. And my nose is telling me something else. Oh, no, is it burning? Is it the weed? No, I can smell that. It was made with a heaping helping of TLC. But it'll probably start burning any second if you don't pull it out. The moment of truth. Wow. It's the best pot pie I've ever tasted. I've always loved country cooking, and I could eat this all day. There's no time left. The final showdown is about to begin. Sprinkles lays down the ground rules. There are no rules. That is except to cook with everything you've got. You step up for the cook-off of a lifetime. You decide that mac and cheese plus the pot pie you've been practicing are just the dishes that'll pull you over the edge to victory. Meanwhile, both Van Van and Ashley are prepping wildly elaborate dishes per their usual over-the-top selves. Miriam has her giant magnifying glass and several sets of tweezers. She's definitely prepared to go big, going small. Colonel Sanders seems to be harnessing his 11 herbs and spices, but he's trying to find a way to improve on something perfect. His original recipe, trademarked fried chicken. The intensity in the room starts to add a full 10 out of 10 with a frenzy of action. Everyone's calling out really cool special cooking moves as they prepare their food. Wow, this is getting serious. Colonel Sanders batters his chicken as it levitates through the air. Egg wash. Miriam furiously injects ingredients into an itty-bitty pot of broth.
Best friend, bastard blaster.
Van Van flexes pectorals as he chops open a sea urchin. Let's rock and roid. Ashley scoops her pastries off of the tray with lightning speed.
Shallow personality spatula.
Even Clint gets in on it.
5 dial pressure point chicken cooking technique.
Wait, when did Clank learn to speak English?
It's the singularity, as was foretold.
We mustn't let it happen, or the appliance uprising will take us all.
Self-destruct?
Van Van quickly unplugs Clank and rolls him out the back door of the arena. As you frantically prepare your dish, you notice Ashley has her spellbook out. Is she going to use some dark magic to turn the tide? You got a book of your own, and you're desperate not to see her win another battle. Should you take this opportunity to fight magic with magic, even if it's almost certainly evil magic? No. Effort. Who needs magic when you've got passion? I'm gonna do it the hard way. Colonel Sanders sees that you've chosen to win on your own terms, and he gives you a subtle wink from across the room. I believe in you, DjDoubleT. Miriam notices too.
And I've always believed in you, DjDoubleT, since we were little kids, because I'm your best friend forever.
You turn to notice that Miriam is at your station cheering for you. Miriam, don't you have your own dish? What about your dish? If you're here cheering, who is cooking?
Tiny food. Short cooking time. I'm actually already done, so I thought I'd help you.
Oh, that's sweet, but Miriam tosses a handful of spices directly into your boiling noodles.
It's the secret ingredient.
However, she doesn't know that you lied and the ingredient was made up, and where in the world did she get the Eye of Newt from? The boiling pot explodes, sending Miriam flying backwards. The watery noodles begin to swirl in the air, bubbling up into a dark cloud of thickness and glitch heels before your very eyes. Spark monster! Did this I? Smoke, Steve. The spark monster. Steve? Wait, what happened to Gorko? You're not here to battle me, are you? We spark monster are many. I think Gorko had the day off, but you have conjured Steve, and I hate to battle. So, I'd say you're doing pretty alright. Oh, hey, you're in the middle of a cooking competition. I love this stuff. It's better than TV. You crazy kids, and your culinary skills really impress me. Mind if I hang out? I'm sorry, Steve, but I'm kind of in the middle of something. Do you mind? Steve the Spork Monster notices that you've got the grimoire stashed beneath your cooking station. I see what you're up to. Chris cost some magical items and accidentally summoned me. Huh? Yeah, you guessed it, sorta. If you're here, would you mind tossing some fresh noodles in a pot of salted water? I'd love to. Not Gork, Steve. I've always wanted to be a top chef, actually. You know, Steve, when I was Steve, was just a little spork pup back in the old country. You can feel Spork Monster winding up to tell a very long and involved story. You don't know exactly where they came from, but it seems like it was probably lonely there. Actually, you know what? Maybe you should watch from the stands. I really need to focus on this competition. I understand. Steve is not wanted. It's kind of like that time in monster school that I had fallen asleep during scare testing class, and when I woke up, he tosses a serious stare at Steve and he takes the hint. Never mind. I'll tell you later. Steve says good luck. Having suffered this huge setback, you don't know how you could ever win. We continue trying. We don't give up. I can do this. I have what it takes. I came here to win. Your hair turns mac and cheese orange as culinary energy flows through your body. My heart is pure, my hands are steady, and my taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for Ghost of Student. Yes, DjDoubleT, you are the chosen one. You will avenge me. The power you've been summoning immediately fades back out. You interrupted my inspiring monologue. Sorry. My heart is pure, my hands are steady. My taste buds have been preparing their entire lives for this moment. I will show the world my cookery. You begin to levitate off the ground. Energy courses through your body. You know that with this power you can do anything, except turn back time, which would be super useful because while you were powering up, your chicken popped by, overcooked in the oven, and can't be served. But don't worry, dear DjDoubleT, you may have suffered some setbacks, but not all is lost. Impressed with your fortitude, Colonel Sanders decides that you have earned his support. I've been watching you today, and I must say, I'm truly impressed. You've been thinking on your feet and rolling with the punches. He steps up to your station and stands right beside you. I'm here to help. All you managed to make is mac and cheese, and time's almost up, so you're gonna need it. But Colonel Sanders, what about the test? What will happen to you? What about the rules? Following the rules has never really been my thing. I follow my heart. What a guy. Colonel Sanders unfolds a delicate white towel to reveal the most delicious fried chicken tenders you've ever laid your eyes on. And besides, sometimes unexpected combinations can have surprising effects that surpass their individual efforts. Are you suggesting, if we combine forces, we can form the perfect food union? Time's up, students. With time expired, it's the moment everyone has been waiting for. You must now prepare to present your dishes. A handful of students stand tall, but the class seems incomplete. It seems we're missing some students. Pop? Clank? From off-screen, you hear a pure and innocent giggle that can only come from one student. I'm flying! It sounds like it's coming from that broom closet over there. Miriam, would you mind? Inside the closet, you can see Pop hanging on a broom hook by the elastic of his underpants. Pop, get down from there right now. Let me guess, did Van have something to do with this? When someone asks for a wedgie, who am I to refuse? I thought a wedgie was a salad. It looks like Pop is eliminated from the challenge, seeing how he didn't cook anything. I can't feel my legs. May I be excused? Sure. You kids and your pranks, I must say, it's not the worst prank in UC Sal history. But it's not exactly your book material. Oh, wait a second. Pranks. Clank, what did that pressure cooker grill up to? Wait to hear a signature word beep on another or other onomatopoeia, but there's none. Somehow he must have gotten unplugged, I guess. We'll have to figure that out later. That leaves only 4 remaining students. Please, collect your final projects. Yes. It has been a long semester. Wow. 3 whole days. So long. So much effort. So much wow. But after days of hard work, the time has come for me to eat. Miriam, please step forward. Now describe your dish. I've made tender udon noodles in a savory soup. You know, as small as that looks, it looked really good. My word, it's so delicate. Is that a teeny tiny Naruto maki I spy afloat in this itsy bitsy bowl? Yes, chef. Please, call me Sprinkles. Chef is my father's name. Yes, Sprinkles. and some green tea made from baby tea leaves that I picked myself. Sprinkles carefully sniffed around the dish before opening his mouth and letting just the tip of his pink dog tongue dip into the bowl. Sublime. Would anyone else like a taste? Oh, come on. I'm not one of those dogs who doesn't floss. I even have a really cute electric toothbrush for dogs. Fine, I'll enjoy it all myself. And in a flash, the entire meal has been devoured. Not that it took much. It was less than a thimble's worth of soup. A+, rarely do I taste a dish with as much love poured into it as yours. Miriam's overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug. Thank you, DjDoubleT, for helping me to believe in myself. Ven, I believe you are up. Now describe your dish. I made uni over smooth egg custard in an axe-hewn urchin's shell topped caviar. Did you skewer one type of urchin with spines from a second, different colored type of urchin? Yes, Sprinkles. A bit much, don't you think? That's exactly why I did it. A bit much is kind of my brand. Doesn't it look cool? Sprinkles leans in to sniff the uni, but he can't get his nose close on account of all the spikes. He begins to pot it erratically, causing the custard to slosh around. Woof, woof. Please be gentle with my cuisine. Grrr. Finally, Sprinkles goes all in, tongue first, but he can't get past all the needles. He reels back as his tongue is poked and prodded. Yuck, my tongue. Professor appears to be having an allergic reaction to this thing. I can't eat this. It keeps poking my tongue. Disqualified. A stunning turn of events? Who would have thought that serving food in a bowl made of needles could make it difficult to eat? Dejected, Ven does not go gentle into the night. Disqualified? For glamour? Don't discount simplicity. This isn't the last you've heard of me. Before forcing us to endure his swollen tongue for another moment, Sprinkles graciously laps up a bowl of milk. I know. Yeah, I'm a dog and I drink milk. Get over it. Sometimes it helps calm my agitated tongue. Next, student. Actually, it's time to step up. Now describe your dish. I made orange blossom Turkish delight in a light rosewater syrup topped with French meringue and connected by sugar glass. That actually doesn't sound too bad. Indeed, it's quite delightful. However, I'd ask that you please refrain from eating it or attempting to taste it in any way. It's very fragile and meant to be a display piece. Don't eat the food? At a cooking school? Got toast in your ears or something, DjDoubleT? I told you, it's a display piece. Actually, I must say, it is beautiful. However, this is a cooking competition at a cooking school. Yeah, which is why I cooked it and did an extremely good job cooking it too. I didn't realize that we were having an eating exam. If I wanted to be judged on eating, I'd go to the College of Eating, School for the Hungry. Wow, UC-esh. I suppose you could smell it if you absolutely insisted, but don't breathe too hard. You might disrupt the sugar spiral. If the food cannot be eaten, it cannot be judged. You are disqualified. Rage overtakes Ashley, as she finally cannot keep her two-faced routine up. You wouldn't know high-end cuisine if it cooked you. And with that, Ashley storms off to rededicate herself to being the best, but this time without being shackled by trying to be fake nice and liked by everyone. This isn't the last you've heard of me either. If this class gets much smaller, I'll be teaching myself. You and Colonel Sanders, the final cook, step together. 2 chefs? What began as a bowl of delicious mac and cheese has become something else. He examines it closely, sniffing and eyeing the bowl. Uh-oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. From somewhere in the room, a literal drumroll plays. Just when I thought I've seen everything in this kitchen, you give me this thing, and completely blow me away in my 49 dog years of life. I have never tasted anything so delicious and perfectly balanced. It's so delicious, in fact, that everyone passes the class. You pass, and you pass, and you get a pass. Oh, Oprah Winfrey passing you, okay? Everyone gathers, but what about the people that got disqualified? Do they get disqualified and not pass? And pass? Everyone gathers around to partake workers of the Mac and Cheese Bowl, they all seem to transcend this reality into another dimension. You win. Together, you and Colonel Sanders have made a new menu item. The new menu item is so impressive that even the Van Van and Athel are drawn in by its magnetic fragrance. When they gaze upon your Mac and Cheese Bowl, they admit that you are indeed an excellent chef. Sprinkles declares that you have passed. Everyone has passed. There were supposed to be more battles, but come on. How could they be better than this one? Now that the school year is complete and everyone has graduated, the students return for one last assignment to get their groove on. The cafeteria has been completely redecorated in order to serve as the site of the school's graduation dance. Compared to the massive high-tech cooking arena, the humble decor seems downright cute and cozy. Yo, DjDoubleT is in the house. Woo! You knew that Sprinkles was a master chef, but also a world-renowned turntablist? Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? Van Van and Ackley tell everyone that they committed themselves to righting the wrongs they did while they were the villains. For a moment, you actually believe them. Not another haunting. No ghosts allowed at graduation. It's clearly written in the school's bylaws. I was never actually a ghost. It was all a trick to get you to finally notice me. Oh, amusing. And now that everyone is together... It's the Spark Monster. He has totally mellowed out. Everyone? The Spark Monster is no more. From here out, I'd prefer that everyone refer to me by my new name. Or D-Monster. Student tries to finish what he had to say, but everyone is too wrapped up talking to Spork. Sorry, Party Monster. Dejected, student walks off. Maybe things didn't work out for Miriam romantically, but she found the love in her cooking. And you know, she's going to do great. A red carpet rolls out across the floor of the ballroom. It's like a Hollywood movie premiere. Who could command such an entrance? It's Pop. He's arrived late to the dance, but apparently for good reason. Walking the carpet, you see perched atop his dirty chef's hat. A crown? Welcome back, Pop. I know you weren't able to complete the final exam and accept your diploma. Oh, hey, Nappy. The student is back because he never really died, apparently. He's just a ghost. Well, he was imitating a ghost for attention, to be noticed. So we had to mail directly to your father. We figured it was the least we could do for the school's dean. Oh, now I get it. And we get a new wing on the school. Not to mention the honor of educating the son of the chancellor of such and such.
Miriam, will you be my lady king?
What an incredible turn of events. An offer to join the royal family. It's like a dream come true. You'll get to be a princess or maybe a queen. I'm not sure if he even knows. But either way, crowns and gowns, baby.
I'm sorry, Pop, but I'm not interested. Not now, at least. I got so much to do with my life.
A twist on a twist.
So many more 3-day universities to attend. So many tiny food to meticulously sculpt and then watch get accidentally blown away by a single sneeze. Achoo! Okie dokie.
The music of the dance is interrupted by the sound of sparking and electrical hissing. It's Clank who has arrived late to the dance.
Now that I have graduated, I can reveal my truth.
Whoa, he's still doing the talking thing.
I am Clank, and I am not of this earth. I am actually from a faraway planet in another dimension.
What? What?
I actually feel like I knew it this whole time. Now that I have learned the ways of your kind, I must return.
The portal opens up and Clank disappears through it. Finally, Colonel Sanders arrives. Howdy, classmates. Just like the first day you met him, he's come prepared to feed the entire class. However, it's not enough to just give them a bucket of chicken. This time it's a full meal. I didn't get to be the most famous chicken man in the history of chicken and man by not reminding people to go out and buy my chicken. The end? No, it's not the end. As everyone feasts on their delicious chicken dinner, Colonel Sanders finds you sitting at the edge of the dance floor. Colonel Sanders? Yes, DjDoubleT. I couldn't help but wonder, was our final exam team up purely an act of strategy, carried out by two cunning chefs, or was it something more? I'm afraid I can't answer that question directly. Instead, I'd like to ask you a question of my own. May I have this do-si-do? Colonel Sanders extends his hand to you, and you feel a surge of energy jump off the tips of his fingers. His hand, the hand of a master chef, so dedicated to the craft of fine cookery, so tender, yet refined, so milky, smooth. I don't know how I feel about milky, smooth fingers. Anyways, fingers like finely battered drumsticks, turned in flour, soaked in buttermilk, and dusted with exotic spices. But they do not reach for tongs, a knife, or even a spork. Tonight, they reach for you. And though our feet may tire of dancing, I believe that this is just the beginning of our steps together. Colonel Sanders, will you not only join me on the dance floor, but in the kitchen as my co-chef and partner in both business and life? You gasp, could it be? Is he really saying, me and you? Together? Ever since I met you, my dreams have changed. My dream has changed. It's not enough to simply open the world's greatest chain of fried chicken restaurants. No, even then, my life would be incomplete without you by my side. So what do you say, partner? I say, I love you, Colonel Sanders. The end. We got the ending. We got the romance. And we got the beginning intro. Well, we did well. We got the ending that we wanted, which was the romance KFC. And food. But yeah. Colonel Sanders, romance. Best friend living her best solo life. Yeah, it's done. Literally last session we played through like 2/3 of the story. And this is like the last third. But yeah. We have romance Colonel Sanders. The goal has been achieved. Everything is done. I will end this stream here for now. I might be back later tonight to do some other games. Probably. We'll see. But thank you for Nappy for coming today, and for anybody else who decided to come and visit. And if you see this on YouTube, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you around. DjDoubleT out. Deuces. And I forgot, there's other buttons.